Have you ever stared at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning, exhausted but wide awake, wondering why your body refuses to rest? You're not alone. And the answer might not lie in sleeping pills or expensive treatments, but in something far simpler: what you put on your plate. Sleep, once effortless, becomes elusive for millions of people after the age of 60. What used to be a peaceful 8-hour stretch now feels like a fragmented battle between rest and restlessness. And yet, in certain parts of the world, elderly men and women continue to sleep deeply and wake up refreshed, without medication, without side effects, and without struggle. How? Doctors and researchers have uncovered a surprising connection. Specific foods that quietly, naturally, and powerfully restore the brain's sleep rhythm. These are not exotic supplements or miracle powders. They're real, everyday foods, many of which might already be in your kitchen, silently waiting to be used with intention. This video will reveal 6 of these sleep-enhancing foods, each backed by science and used by doctors who specialize in geriatric health. We'll also show the dramatic contrast between 2 older adults, one who made a simple shift in diet and now sleeps like a baby, and another whose health is unraveling because of one hidden mistake. If you've been struggling with insomnia, waking up tired or feeling anxious as the sun goes down, you need to see this through to the end. What you'll learn may feel like a missing puzzle piece finally falling into place. It could mean the difference between another night of frustration or waking up tomorrow morning with energy you haven't felt in years. Comment number 1. If you're ready. Let's start with something many people overlook: how the body actually produces melatonin. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone. It tells your body when it's time to rest. But here's the part most people don't realize: your body doesn't store melatonin. It makes it fresh each day, and it depends entirely on the right nutrients, especially as we age. That's where food comes in. Certain natural foods contain the building blocks your brain needs to make melatonin. And when you give your body what it needs, something beautiful happens. Sleep returns, not through force, but through balance. Take tart cherries, for example. These small fruits are among the only foods that contain measurable amounts of melatonin. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that adults who drank tart cherry juice twice a day slept longer and had better sleep efficiency than those who didn't. The results were even more significant in older adults. Another overlooked powerhouse: pumpkin seeds. Rich in zinc and magnesium, they help convert tryptophan, an amino acid, into serotonin, which then becomes melatonin. It's like handing your body the blueprint and the tools to build what it needs. Now, think about Evelyn. Every evening, around 6 o'clock, she prepares a small bowl of tart cherries and sprinkles a handful of pumpkin seeds over a warm bowl of oatmeal. It's a ritual. Soft jazz plays in the background. She avoids bright lights. Her body knows it's time to slow down. By 9 o'clock, she's already drifting off. And Robert? He doesn't think about melatonin. He grabs a slice of white bread with jam before bed, then turns on the television to drown out the silence. His body receives no signals, no help, no rhythm, just static. And the night begins again. Restless, fragmented, frustrating. When we talk about aging well, we often forget sleep. And when we talk about sleep, we rarely talk about food. But the connection is real, and it starts with what you eat after sunset. Now, moving to the second factor that silently affects longevity: late-night sugar. At first glance, a small cookie after dinner or a spoonful of ice cream before bed doesn't seem like much. It's comfort, it's tradition. Maybe it even brings back memories. But for the aging brain and body, sugar at night acts like an alarm bell in reverse. It doesn't wake you up in the morning. It keeps you from ever falling into true rest. Here's what happens. When you consume sugar in the evening, your blood glucose rises sharply. This signals your pancreas to release insulin. The surge gives you a temporary boost, but as insulin clears the sugar from your bloodstream, your glucose levels crash. That crash is what triggers midnight awakenings, vivid dreams, restlessness, or even anxiety. And this effect is stronger in older adults. As we age, our insulin response becomes less efficient. Our metabolism slows. What we could once process easily now lingers and disrupts our internal rhythms. It's not just about falling asleep, it's about staying asleep. Robert didn't realize this. Every night after dinner, he craved something sweet. Sometimes it was a soft drink. Other times a slice of store-bought pie. Within hours, he'd wake up sweating or needing the bathroom. His sleep was never deep, never complete. And every morning, he felt more drained. Evelyn, by contrast, learned to shift her habits. Her doctor explained how late-night sugar was triggering cortisol, the stress hormone, right when her body should be winding down. She stopped eating sweets after 7 o'clock in the evening. Instead, she turned to gentle, sleep-supportive snacks like half a banana with a spoonful of almond butter. Her blood sugar stayed stable. Her heart rate stayed low. And her sleep, once broken, returned to its natural rhythm. Science supports this. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high glycemic meals consumed 4 hours before bed significantly increased the risk of insomnia, especially in older adults. Your evening sugar may seem harmless, but if sleep has been slipping through your fingers, that small indulgence might be the silent culprit. Another habit that often gets ignored is the lack of magnesium in our daily diet. Magnesium is not just a mineral, it's a signal. It tells your muscles when to relax, your heart when to slow down, and your brain when it's safe to rest. Without enough magnesium, your nervous system stays on edge, tense, alert, and unprepared for sleep. This is especially critical for older adults. With age, the body absorbs magnesium less efficiently. Medications, reduced appetite, and even chronic stress deplete magnesium stores further. The result? Difficulty falling asleep, light, unrefreshing rest, and a nervous system stuck in high alert. Evelyn's physician ran a simple test after she reported feeling tired but wired every night. Her magnesium levels were low. Rather than turn to supplements, she began introducing magnesium-rich foods into her dinner routine: sautéed spinach, roasted chickpeas, and small portions of dark chocolate with 70% cacao or more. These weren't just healthy, they were therapeutic. Within weeks, she noticed she was falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up calmer. Robert, however, remained unaware. His dinners were heavy on meat and starches, light on vegetables. He rarely ate legumes or leafy greens. And though he couldn't name it, he felt it. A low-level tension that never fully released. Sleep came late, and it was shallow. He woke up feeling like he had run a marathon in his mind. The science echoes their experience. A study published in the journal Nutrients confirmed that magnesium improves subjective measures of insomnia, especially in older adults. It helps regulate GABA, a neurotransmitter that quiets brain activity and allows the mind to disengage from the stress of the day. Magnesium doesn't knock you out. It invites you to rest. It's nature's way of telling your body, you're safe. Now, let go. Here's the third behavior that slowly undermines your health: neglecting tryptophan. Most people have heard the word, often mentioned around Thanksgiving, when turkey-induced sleepiness is part of the joke. But tryptophan is no laughing matter. It's an essential amino acid, meaning your body cannot make it on its own, and it plays a silent but powerful role in how you sleep. Tryptophan is the first step in a chain reaction. Once in the body, it converts into serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood and calm. Then, when night comes, serotonin transforms into melatonin, the sleep hormone. If tryptophan is missing, the entire chain breaks. You may feel anxious, restless, or worse, you may lie in bed for hours, fully exhausted but unable to turn off your thoughts. Evelyn learned about tryptophan during a routine appointment. Her doctor suggested she include foods like lentils, eggs, oats, and a small piece of turkey breast in her evening meals. She was skeptical, but curious. Within days, she noticed her thoughts slowing down earlier in the evening. Her mood stabilized. The emotional turbulence that used to peak at bedtime began to smooth out. Robert, meanwhile, kept skipping dinner or grabbing something processed and fast. His meals lacked quality protein. He rarely ate beans or seeds. And his mood suffered. He grew irritable, withdrawn, and sleep became a nightly battleground. Not because of stress, but because his brain was simply missing the ingredients it needed to rest. A clinical review in nutritional neuroscience found that increased dietary tryptophan significantly improves sleep latency, how fast you fall asleep, and sleep duration in older adults. The effect is even greater when paired with a carbohydrate source that helps carry tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier. This is not about eating more, it's about eating wiser, giving your body the messages it understands in a language it has known since birth. As we move forward, there's a fifth pattern that deserves attention: what you drink in the evening and how it affects your ability to sleep. Many older adults unknowingly sabotage their sleep not through what they eat, but through what they forget to drink, or what they choose to sip too late. Hydration is a quiet ally of deep rest. When your body is dehydrated, even slightly, your heart rate increases, your body temperature rises, and your sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. But here's the secret. It's not just about water. It's about the right kind of hydration, at the right time, with the right intention. Evelyn finishes her dinner by 6 o'clock in the evening. Then, about an hour later, she prepares a warm infusion, often chamomile with a slice of fresh ginger, or lemon balm steeped slowly in hot water. She doesn't drink it quickly. She sips. She lets her body register the warmth. Her nervous system begins to slow. Her digestion responds. By 8:30, she feels the first yawn. Robert, on the other hand, drinks very little water throughout the day. He fears waking up at night to use the bathroom, so he avoids fluids entirely in the evening. But the result is the opposite of what he wants. His mouth feels dry. His heart beats faster. His legs cramp. And the sleep he does get is broken by discomfort and restlessness. The research backs this up. A study published in Sleep Health found that mild dehydration can lead to short sleep duration and increased nighttime wakefulness, especially in older adults whose thirst signals may already be dulled with age. The answer isn't to flood the body late at night. It's to hydrate consistently throughout the day. Then use a gentle, herbal tonic in the early evening to support the body's transition into rest. Teas like chamomile, valerian root, passion flower, and lemon balm have all shown calming effects in clinical settings. Sleep begins before the head touches the pillow. And what you choose to sip in those final hours can either prepare your body for deep rest or leave it silently fighting against itself. Finally, there's one last habit that might surprise you. A daily ritual so common it feels harmless, even comforting. But for many older adults, it's the quiet thief of sleep: caffeine. Not just the kind found in your morning coffee, but in your afternoon tea, your piece of dark chocolate, your soft drink at dinner. For younger bodies, caffeine is metabolized quickly, but after the age of 60, the liver processes it more slowly. What used to be a 2-hour effect can now linger in the bloodstream for 6, even 8 hours. This means that a cup of black tea at 3 o'clock in the afternoon can still be stimulating your nervous system at 11 o'clock at night. Robert didn't connect the dots. He had always loved coffee, 2 cups in the morning and sometimes another in the afternoon. He enjoyed a cola with dinner and never thought twice about it. But as the years went by, he noticed his bedtime drifting, later and later. His sleep grew lighter. He woke more often, sometimes startled, sometimes anxious. His doctor suggested sleep medication, but no one asked about the caffeine. Evelyn, on the other hand, made a quiet shift. She kept her morning ritual, a single cup of coffee at 7 o'clock in the morning. But after that, she switched to naturally caffeine-free herbal teas: rooibos, peppermint, hibiscus. She even checked her chocolate and chose varieties with minimal caffeine content. Within a few weeks, her sleep deepened. The jitters disappeared. Her mind felt calmer in the evenings, less stimulated, more at ease. According to research in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, consuming caffeine even 6 hours before bedtime can significantly disrupt sleep quantity and quality. For seniors, whose sensitivity is heightened, the effects are even more pronounced. Sleep is not only about what you add, it's also about what you remove. And sometimes, the most powerful change is not doing something, but stopping something that no longer serves you. So now you've seen it, how something as ordinary as food can reshape something as vital as sleep. Not through force, not through pills, but through rhythm, through nutrients, through choices. Robert's story is still being written. He's not beyond help, but every restless night he endures is a reminder that the body speaks in patterns. And when we ignore those patterns, our health, both physical and mental, slowly unravels. Evelyn chose a different path, not because she had more time or better luck, but because she asked questions, because she listened to her body's signals. Because she learned that every meal is a message, every bite, a quiet conversation with her nervous system, her hormones, her brain. The foods that help us sleep are not magical. They're ancient, trusted by generations, supported by science, and available to most of us every single day. Tart cherries, pumpkin seeds, magnesium-rich greens, tryptophan from lentils or turkey, herbal teas that whisper calm, and perhaps most importantly, the choice to let go of caffeine when the sun begins to set. These aren't just tips. They're invitations. Invitations to rest more deeply, to live more fully, to feel once again what it means to wake up restored. You don't need to transform everything overnight. Begin with one change. Choose one. Ritual. Give your body one signal that it is safe, that it is loved, that it is allowed to let go. And if tonight you sleep even 10 minutes longer, if your heart beats just a little slower, if your dreams return with clarity and comfort, then you've already begun. Comment below if this gave you insight or hope. Like this video to support more content like this. Subscribe for future episodes and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. Your journey to better sleep and better health can begin tonight.